want to see Brian Norman and Boots, man. That's who I say is the man of the division. To me, Boots ain't got nothing on Brian Norman, man. Brian Norman's gonna catch him. Yeah, they're gonna get in a firefight and he's gonna knock his ass out. All that styling bullcrap ain't gonna work on Brian Norman. He can match that athleticism that Boots got.
I agree with
that's
that.
that's his advantage on his last couple of fighters. He's more athletic, so you know.
I'm taping up and I'm paping up today. What it is, Big Boss Hog. Boss dog can't poke through the door. Here to talk to this box before I get him my soliloquy. Them tough times don't last. Good people do. Don't have yourself. Caught him in the fight line, made me matter. Peak game. 84's on West Wing. We clutched up. You know what we're talking about. Brian Norman will be the fighter to give Jaron Boots Ennis his first loss. Let's talk about it. The Boxing Boys, shout out to them. I'm not looking for any type of recognition, just mainly discussing the topic at hand. We don't always agree, and I don't always agree on everything they say or they post, but we grown men, and I respect their viewpoints, and I respect everybody's viewpoints on that show. The caller says that Brian Norman will KO Boots. And the caller alludes to the fact that Jaron Boots Ennis fights guys that he's normally more athletic than. And he feels like Brian Norman is athletic, and Brian Norman is the guy that will give Jaron Boots Ennis his first loss and knock him out. So the question I have for y'all in the comment section, is it because Jaron Boots Ennis is that good? Or is it because Jaron Boots Ennis is cherry picking? Because that's what they trying to make it seem like. I think it's because Jaron Boots Ennis is that good, and I don't see Brian Norman beating Boots. I'm not gonna lie to you. Brian Norman's a power puncher. I don't think he's gonna come in there and lay down, but I definitely think that Jaron Boots Ennis poses a lot of issues for Brian Norman Jr. For starters. Boots got better feet than Brian Norman. Not saying that Brian Norman don't got good feet, but Jaron Boots Ennis got better feet than Brian Norman Jr. I feel like Jaron Boots Ennis is, I say, sharper. As far as power, I would get it to Brian Norman from what I've seen, right? But I would say the more sharper, in-tune fighter, I will have to go with Jaron Boots Ennis, because Jaron Boots Ennis, I feel like, has a better accuracy rating, and I feel like he's more accurate with his punches than Brian Norman. Defensively, that's a toss-up, because Boots, when he do focus on defense, he don't get hit, right? But when you look at offensive efficiency, Boots do get hit. But everybody knows the more you open up on offense, the more susceptible you are to getting hit, right? So you look at the totality of the circumstances, you will have to favor Boots. I feel like Boots has fought better competition as well, out of the two. Not saying Boots fought elite fighters, but I feel like Boots has been more battle tested than a Brian Norman. That's just how I feel, right? So when you look at how these two guys are set up and how they being moved, you gotta favor Boots in the matchup. You know what I'm saying? It's just Brian Norman is a tough, gritty fighter. You know what I'm saying? Got power, and he like to break his opponents down and bludgeon them, right? But I think Boots in that particular fight will probably step to Brian Norman. A lot of people gonna think that Brian Norman gonna force Boots to, box, and Boots gonna be moving around the ring a lot and retreating. I think Boots gonna step to Brian Norman, because the only way to guard a power punch is to go at him. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get this stuff done, is to go at him. You gotta go at a power puncher. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you a time when I was an active amateur, and I'm a power puncher, right? And I sparred this little young dude, and I'm applying pressure. I'm thinking he gonna move around the ring. No, he came straight at me. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of messed my mental up for a little bit, because I came into the ring like, oh, he finna be running around. No, that boy stepped to me. You know what I mean? Sitting on punches and rolling and slipping and countering me and everything. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So I think Boots gonna do that. right? I think Boots is gonna skip to Brian Norman, right? To kind of prove a point. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to discredit Brian Norman. I think Brian Norman's a good fighter, but I just think he ain't got nothing for Boots. That's just what I see. You know what I mean? Brian Norman is a good fighter. He ain't no slouch. He ain't no, you know what I mean? He ain't no pushover. I just don't think he got nothing for Boots. So, the question I got for y'all is Boots really that good? Or is he cherry picking? Right? Is he looking like that because he can do that? I don't know what y'all think.